Welcome to Fluent Storytime, where every story helps you learn English and find inspiration. Today we bring you the life story of a man who changed history, a man who went from humble beginnings to becoming the President of the United States. This is the story of Barack Obama, a man who showed the world that hope, hard work, and education can change everything. So, relax, listen carefully, and let's begin this inspiring journey. Barack Hussein Obama II was born on August 4, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii. His story begins far from the power and fame he would one day have. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was from Kenya, a small village called Nyangoma Kogelo in Africa. His mother, Ann Dunham, was an American woman from Kansas. They met while studying at the University of Hawaii, two people from completely different worlds who fell in love. Barack's early life was not simple. His parents separated when he was just 2 years old, and later they divorced. His father returned to Kenya, and his mother continued to raise him in Hawaii. Barack's father visited him only once after that, when Barack was 10 years old. Still, that short visit left a deep mark on his heart. Barack grew up with questions about who he was and where he belonged. When Barack was 6 years old, his mother married again. His stepfather, Lolo Soetoro, was from Indonesia, and the family moved to Jakarta. Life in Indonesia was very different from Hawaii. Barack attended local schools, learned a new language, and saw a world filled with poverty and inequality. His mother always reminded him that education was the key to a better future. She would wake him up early every morning to study English lessons before school. She told him that no matter where he lived, learning would open doors for him. After several years in Indonesia, Barack returned to Hawaii to live with his grandparents. They loved him deeply and wanted to give him a strong education. He studied at Punahou School, one of the best schools in Hawaii. But even there, Barack often felt different. He was one of the few black students in the school and sometimes struggled with his identity. Who was he? An African, an American, or something in between? These questions shaped his thoughts and motivated him to understand the world better. Barack was a good student, but not perfect. He enjoyed sports, especially basketball, and was known for his bright smile and calm nature. As he grew older, he started reading a lot. Books became his friends. Books about history, race, and leaders who fought for justice. They helped him find answers to the questions he had about his identity. After finishing high school, Barack moved to Los Angeles to study at Occidental College. Later, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City. He studied political science and graduated in 1983. Living in New York opened his eyes to the challenges of big city life. He saw rich people and poor people living side by side. He began to think deeply about how society works and what he could do to make it fairer. After college, Barack worked in New York for a few years, but soon realized that he wanted to do something meaningful. He wanted to help people. So he moved to Chicago and became a community organizer. It was not an easy job. He worked with poor families who had lost their jobs when factories closed. He listened to their problems, helped them organize meetings, and inspired them to fight for better schools and safer neighborhoods. This experience taught him that real change begins when people come together. Barack's time in Chicago changed his life. He learned that leadership was not about power. It was about service. He also learned how difficult it was to make a real difference without education and laws to support people. That's when he decided to study law. In 1988, Barack entered Harvard Law School, one of the best in the world. There, he worked hard and made history as the first African-American president of the Harvard Law Review, a very prestigious position. People began to notice his intelligence, his calmness, and his ability to bring people together. After graduating, Barack returned to Chicago instead of taking a high-paying job at a big law firm. He wanted to continue helping people. He worked as a civil rights lawyer and taught constitutional law at the University of Chicago. Around this time, he met a smart and confident young lawyer named Michelle Robinson. She was his supervisor at the law firm where he worked. They quickly became close. Michelle admired Barack's passion for helping others, and Barack admired her strength and intelligence. In 1992, they got married. Their love story became one of partnership, support, and shared purpose. Barack and Michelle soon started a family. They were blessed with 2 daughters, Malia and Sasha. Barack loved being a father and often said that his daughters were his biggest inspiration. Even when his political career became busy, he always tried to spend time with them. In 1996, Barack Obama took a big step. He entered politics. He ran for the Illinois State Senate and won. As a senator, he worked to help working families, improve health care, and make education more affordable. People liked his honesty, intelligence, and the way he spoke. Calm, confident, and full of hope. In 2004, he gave a speech at the Democratic National Convention that changed his life forever. Millions of people watched him on television as he spoke about unity and hope. He said, "There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America." That speech made him famous overnight. People across the country began to see him as a future leader. Just 4 years later, in 2008, Barack Obama made history by running for president. Many people doubted that America was ready to elect a black president. But Barack's message of hope and change touched millions of hearts. He promised to bring people together, fix the economy, and end wars. His campaign inspired young people, minorities, and those who had lost faith in politics. When the results came in, the world watched in amazement. Barack Obama had won. On January 20th, 2009, he took the oath of office and became the 44th President of the United States and the first African-American president in history. The crowd that day was massive. People cried tears of joy. Barack stood with his hand on the Bible, smiling as Michelle and their daughters watched proudly. As president, Barack Obama faced many challenges. The country was in a deep economic crisis when he took office. Many people had lost their jobs and homes. Barack worked with his team to rebuild the economy, create jobs, and give people hope again. One of his biggest achievements was the Affordable Care Act, often called Obamacare, which helped millions of Americans get health insurance for the first time. He also focused on education, renewable energy, and international peace. He ordered the military operation that led to the death of Osama bin Laden in 2011, which was a major event in the fight against terrorism. Barack Obama also received the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to strengthen international diplomacy. But like every leader, he faced criticism and difficult moments. Some people disagreed with his policies, and politics became very divided. Still, Barack never lost his calm nature. He believed that progress took time and that hope was stronger than fear. In 2012, he ran for re-election and won again. For 8 years, he served as president with dignity, compassion, and a deep belief in the power of people working together. When his presidency ended in 2017, he left office with millions of admirers around the world. After leaving the White House, Barack and Michelle started the Obama Foundation to support young leaders and community projects around the world. He also wrote books, gave speeches, and continued to inspire people. Barack once said, "If you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress." Barack Obama's life is a story of courage, education, and hope. From a young boy in Hawaii with big questions to a world leader who inspired millions, his journey shows that dreams can come true when you work hard and never give up. He taught the world that no matter where you come from, what matters most is where you're going. Thank you for watching this story on Fluent Storytime. Keep learning, keep believing, and remember, your story can also change the world.